I'm feeling very awkward, but I am also feeling very excited because I've decided to vlog. I have been listening to people speak about, for example, techno-feudalism and digital colonization and the dangers of everything that's happening with technology. And I think one response to that is like, I'm going to get rid of my phone. I'm going to try to become a Luddite, this call towards like a more primitive way of being. But the person who invented the term techno-feudalism, I can't remember his name right now, he said we should have access to these technologies, and we should also have a say in how they're being used, how we're using them, and how they're being used in society. And then another person, she talks about digital colonization. Her name is Stephanie. I can't remember her last name. I'll link her. She inspired me to vlog because it's thinking about how can I participate and utilize these technologies in a way that feels authentic to me, in a way that's not optimized for the algorithm, in a way that's not optimized for quick views, in a way that's not optimized for easy 10, 30, 60-second entertainment. And so I've been enjoying watching her vlogs. To be honest, I wasn't really a person who loved watching vlogs before that. But with her perspective in mind, I thought it was just so interesting to think about. And so I'm gonna give it a shot. We'll see how it goes. If I feel like a complete and utter weirdo, that is very, very likely to happen. Today, my plan is to go to a coffee shop. That's one thing I've been trying to do since I quit my remote job and I've been focusing on studying, is I realized just how much time I spent in this room. And it's a really nice room, but I spent a lot of time here. So going out for coffee, I'm trying to spend less time on my screen. I just got finished writing the first draft of my thesis, and it was exhausting in every possible way. And I didn't actually get to finish what I wanted to finish because for about the last week, anytime I spend any significant amount of time in front of a screen, like 15 minutes or more, I start to get a really pounding headache, and then once it starts, it just doesn't go away. So I'll probably go to the coffee shop with like a physical book. I just really love keeping my physical notes. I feel like I'm more able to concentrate with physical media. And then this afternoon, I'm excited about this. I'm taking part in someone's dissertation study about communicating with the more than human world. So today is our kickoff call. It's on Zoom. It's several hours long. Get to meet the other participants. And during the course of this study, we will find a tree and spend a lot of time with our tree and documenting the experience and what it's like to communicate. And I already have a tree that I'm in communication with that I met last year. And maybe at some point I'll share some of the magical experiences that happened with that tree. And then maybe I'll get into the pottery studio, if only to like check on my pots. But I might get some throwing done too. So yeah, welcome to my vlog. All the flowers and all the rain. Alright, so I made it into the studio, but I'm probably not going to work today. Instead, I think it's going to be a cleaning day. Everything's kind of just in disarray at the moment. And part of the reason that it is in disarray is because I got this awesome greenhouse that is helpful for slowing down the drying of my work. And so I'm not using the other shelves the same way that I was before, and I gotta clean them up. Okay, I'm on a little 10-minute break from the tree study call. There are 9 participants in total, and it's really interesting to get to hear everyone's story. You know, it's a particular kind of person who participates in this kind of post-humanist study. It's still raining, but I don't know where I'm going with that. Just gonna get some eye rest before getting back on the call. So I'm just starting to wrap up my day. I was too self-conscious to talk to myself on camera at the coffee shop. And so I wanted to just talk a little bit about this book. I had been a little bit off-put by the title, Orientalism, but one of my mentors suggested it, and I've just gotten through the introduction, and I think I'm really going to enjoy it. Edward Said was a Palestinian American academic, and so was bringing attention to the way that academia in general has treated what they called the Orient, which is no longer really an appropriate term. And even when this book was originally written in the 70s, Said says that people were not really even calling themselves Orientalists anymore. Apparently that used to be the term that they would use. So I was happy to dive in, especially to find that quote, and that's exactly why my mentor had suggested it to me. I've been finding a lot of inspiration in early Chinese pleasure philosophy, and as I start to explore that side of the research, I'm really wanting to be careful in how I'm approaching that conversation. And we were talking about really what that quote says is like understanding other than us as a way of becoming more human versus this kind of extractive understanding that we often see as a way to control or manipulate others. So we'll see how the book goes, and if I have the time to read it, hopefully this coming week. I am going to, my fears were confirmed. That very long Zoom call ended up giving me a headache, so I took a little nap afterwards, and I can still feel it coming on, so I'm probably going to lay on my floor and listen to an audiobook. I've been doing a lot of academic reading, and so loving Rosamund Pike's narration of the Wheel of Time series, so I'll probably lay on my floor for the rest of the evening and listen to that. So this is my first vlog. Super awkward. Will it stay awkward? Will I do another one? Find out next week.